Hello, so today I will make a video about the wild hunt. So in Niedersachsen, at least this is where I am familiar with the stories because my grandparents were farmers in Niedersachsen and I was always there for the summer ferien on the family hof. And this is where I learned most of what I know from my grandparents on the Hof in Niedersachsen. Anyway, so in Niedersachsen, winter storms were once feared not as weather, but as movement. When violent winds tore through the forest and fields, people believed they were hearing the wild hunt. And so to say, pre-Christian, what would you say, a pre-Christian procession of spirits racing across the night. This ghostly host was said to carry the dead, the restless, and the unquiet. Yeah? And to encounter it, if you were out walking around at night when these storms came, they say it was dangerous. To see the hunt could bring illness, madness, or a disappearance, and so families stayed indoors, fires dimmed, and silent kept when the wild hunt, so to say, was happening after dark. So the wild hunt was believed to ride most often during midwinter, especially in the nights between what is today Christmas and beginning of January, the Rauhnachter. So these were nights outside ordinary time, when the boundary between worlds grew thin and spirits moved freely. So storms during this period were not random, they were signs that the hunt was passing overhead. Even outside these sacred nights, sudden winter storms could be still understood as its presence, for the storm itself was the hunt. In the oldest form, the wild hunt was led by Woden, and the ancient Germanic god of wind, death, and hidden wisdom. Yeah, so there's also the shamanic archetype. Yeah, his name means shamanic frenzy. So Woden was believed to ride through the skies gathering ghosts, as we would call them today. I have a video about that, and restless spirits, and I have a video about that called the pre-Christian Germanic view of ghosts and evil and spirits, or something like that. I named it, and explains it in really in actuality, manifestations, dwarves. But for this video, we'll call them ghosts and restless spirits. And Woden would carry them away from the human world. So in northern Germany, the wind was sometimes called Woden's Ride. And his role was not seen as evil, but as necessary. He removed what no longer belonged among the living and restored balance between the realms. And what he would do is not only bring them to where they should be, these dwarves, he would help them manifest, because the goal of a dwarf is that it will become a soul and manifest as a man, a human, Midgard and Earth. That is the ultimate goal always of the dwarves. They are the lower self, they are less of a man. They are not fully manifested yet as a man, and that is the goal, and Woden helps them on this journey when he takes them. Alongside him was also, in different places, Frau Woda, so Frigga, yeah? Or later on called Frau Hola and so on. It depends on where you were, really. She was a powerful female figure, of winter and the dead. She ruled over wandering souls and judged those who disturbed sacred times. So later transforming in folklore into figures, like Frau Hohler, and in southern Germany and sowas, die sagen Pertra, and Christianity reshaped the older beliefs, so to say. Before Christian interpretations turned the wild hunt into a table of terror, it carried deep shamanic meaning. The wild hunt was understood as a spiritual journey, movement of souls between worlds during moments when the veil was thin. Woden was not merely a god, but a shamanic archetype, one who traveled in spirit, crossed boundaries, and guided the dead. Frau Woda embodied the dead mother, guardian thresholds, and ensuring that the cycle of life and death remained intact, so to say. Entschuldigung, ich bin erkältet. So, the storm was not chaos, but sacred motion, and the hunt was a necessary cleansing of the old year at midwinter. So people were warned not to look or follow because the hunt was evil, but in reality, it wasn't that it was evil. That was the after Christianity. Before Christianity, they were trotzdem, they were still warned, don't look and don't follow the hunt and go outside and stuff, stay indoors and quiet. The reason for this was because it was not meant for the living. In this way, the wild hunt was not a curse, but a reminder that the world was once understood as alive. Animism, moving and filled with unseen paths, carried on the wind, so to say. And that would be my best description of the wild hunt, from what I was taught. Tschüss.